So this is a super fast Pendolino. We're heading from Warsaw off to Krakow. And here it is. It is. Go fast nose. Told us to stand in sector 1. Not going to make it. Well, this is very cool. This is the Bureau in Krakow. Got a view out the window of the old town. Look at that. So you want to do anything here? Oh, a bit warm. Oh, the bathroom underhead floor heating's on, but I might set the AC down a bit. Back. Put the TV on, set an alarm. Fix the lights. And look at all the modes for lights. So, everything's there. Can even check out. Clean the room. Wipe the login. Phone. Fridge. Here's the bathroom. There's a shower in there. This is fabulous. Let me show you the view. Well, that's not a bad view. We quite often get, when you get a cheaper room, you often get looking in the parking lot. But this is nice. I think that's heading towards the old town. Lovely. So very cool. Have to go. Trisha's waiting. Are you hungry?
I don't think I've come the right way.
Not only is everything very trendy, but free tea and coffee, 24 hours in the lobby. You loving it?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So there we are. First little walk around, just having a look around the streets in Krakow. Look what we find. So these are the city defence walls, now part of the Museum of Krakow. So this is a sculpture, a gorgeous, brilliant sculpture of Jan Matejko, a painter. But look at that, what a brilliant, brilliant idea for a sculpture. So this is St. Florian's Gate. It is the 14th century city gate. Look what. It is in such good condition. And here we are in the old city, not unlike Gdansk actually, coming through.
It's a shame it's got
Oh yeah.
further back, it's one on the top.
Ah yes. We've got all sorts. We've got the cherry liqueur shop, virtual reality cinema. We've got what looks like quite an old pub established in, doesn't say, but it looks pretty old. The most famous artistic cafe in Poland. Here, the Little Green Balloon cabaret formed in the spirit of young Poland. Might be worth a visit. Can't beat a little cocktail bar. What do you think? Well, we're here in the market square. This is quite something. We've got horse and carriages down here. That's the old market hall. And over here is St. Mary's Basilica. Tower of which is undergoing renovations. Tomorrow is Corpus Christi, which is a huge feast day and actually a public holiday. So we're going to come down here because we reckon there'll be some Corpus Christi action. And if this is going to be some kind of concert tonight, we've got a film crew behind in this magnificent square. There are tourists everywhere, every single place you look. Apparently, I was talking to a guy who does guided tours, and it's stag do central because it's cheap to get here from the UK, because we've come across more, not only English speaking, but English voices than anywhere since we left the UK. and it's on people, apparently it's on English, American tourist radar, so there are many English speaking tourists here, so it's taken us a bit by surprise. So we're just going to do a walking tour of the Jewish quarter. At Krakow, it looks like there are multiple little squares, not just one. Apparently we're going in the Jewish quarter. That used to be a separate city, but they were trying to build bridges, and they realised they had to build so many bridges that what they did was diverted the water and paved it over. So now the second city is part of Greater Krakow. Well, this is a worry. They seem to be escaping. This is beautiful. Gorgeous parkland. This might be, I think we're going down towards the river where it was paved over. This is just lovely. Beautiful afternoon. So, this is what was river separating Krakow from Kazimierz. So Kazimierz is 500, there's 500, these are 200-year-old streets. We're heading down to Kazimierz, which used to be an island, but for 200 years hasn't been, to look for some 500-year-old streets. Ooh. Here in the wide street, the main street meeting point of the Jewish quarter, you can see the menorah candlesticks there, and this synagogue is known as the New Synagogue. It's a 16th century synagogue. The old synagogue is further up the road. So this is the old synagogue. It's the oldest synagogue certainly in Poland, possibly the oldest building, I think he said, in Poland. It was originally part of the fortress, part of the defense walls. It's the most important synagogue, certainly in Krakow, here in Kazimierz. And then when the Germans came, they used it as a warehouse, particularly for ammunition. Just spotted some pretty fabulous street art. I'll see if I can zoom in. This is at the back of the old synagogue. So, just crossing the Vistula. We've done that quite a few times in Poland. It's a very long river. This is the Holocaust Memorial here in Krakow. This is where the ghetto was. And these chairs are representative of the furniture. 17,000 Jewish people were moved and told they had to move into 350 houses, and then a wall was built around them. And because they were told to move, that they were moving house, of course they brought their furniture with them, thinking they were moving house. Horse-drawn carts with all of their belongings. And you can imagine 17,000 people, 350 houses. There was no room for furniture, there was barely room for people. And they thought it was a town, but it turned into a prison as a wall was built around them. There are 70 chairs representing the 70 tribes that Moses took out of Israel. They all face Israel, except for the 4 in the corners, and they face the concentration camps, or they face 4 of the concentration camps, particularly Auschwitz, Birkenau, and 2 others that were more local. In 1939, there were 68,000 Jewish people living in Krakow. By the end of the war, there were 3,000. Schindler's factory was just over there. And if you haven't seen Schindler's List, you should. In fact, Schindler's List is thought to be one of the reasons the Jewish quarter in Krakow had a resurgence, because Jewish people came back thinking they were coming back to their homes, and of course in the 6 years of the war people had moved in, people had taken over the quarter, taken over their homes, and it became a place of gangs and a place of high crime. Not a pleasant place to be. Jewish people didn't want to be there, couldn't be there, didn't have their homes. And so Steven Spielberg made a film called Schindler's List and told the story of Schindler and his factory and the work that he did. And that film was filmed in the Jewish quarter. And what happened was people started coming back. Tourists came back. Tourists wanted to see where Schindler's List was filmed. People wanted to see what the area was like. Wanted to see this Jewish quarter in Krakow. And they came, and then restaurants started reopening. And Jewish people started moving back. And synagogues opened, and shops opened, and the place became what it is today. A beautiful area looking like an old city, looking like the medieval city. So thanks in part to Steven Spielberg. Amazing. But what a story. It's, I don't know what the word is, moving, powerful to think that these actual buildings were here when the ghetto was here. People lived and died in these actual buildings that still stand here, and people live in them again. So we're crossing the Vistula again on this footbridge. And now if we look over here, you might think these are real people. Actually they're not. But isn't this gorgeous? So beautiful. Kazimierz Market Square was the biggest in Europe, rivalled only by Krakow. And then when built in 1355, and then when the two cities united, this one was built onto a bit, leaving Krakow as the biggest in Europe. Corpus Christi Basilica, King Kazimierz requested a Gothic basilica to rival St. Mary's in Krakow. But the Swedes came and ransacked in the 1600s, and so an Italian architect finished it off. So it isn't quite Gothic, it's a bit Baroque. So we've got a Baroque cathedral built by an Italian architect in the Jewish quarter. A nice mix. So here in the Jewish quarter is the famous Zabikanka roundhouse. So this used to be a Jewish market, meat market. But after Second World War, meat was pretty much rationed, and under communism meat was pretty much rationed. So the Zabikanka was developed. The traditional one was with a mushroom and cheese topping, but now you can get anything. But people come here, everyone has their favourite one. We don't know which is which. These are all the toppings you can get. But this is awesome. So we're going to have a look and we're going to choose. Have you got any thoughts about what you fancy?
The one back there with cheese and mushroom, but I want cheese and ham.
Okay, I'm thinking cheese and mushroom. All right, let's look.
Bye.
We've got our Zagapenny. Patricia, what have you got?
Ham and cheese.
Ham and cheese. And I've got the Greek, which is the mushroom and cheese with garlic dressing, cucumber and feta. Nice. And they cost next to nothing. Not much.
I don't know.
Yeah. Brilliant. Here we go. How are you going with that?
A lot.
I know, they're big, aren't they?
Too big for me.
Too big. Well, too big for me. I've just thrown half mine in the bin. Anyway, so we better find a beer to wash it down. So bits of Schindler's List were filmed here. So the woman hides under there. The little boy comes down the stairs. And then the Germans were throwing furniture over the balcony up there. And they used this area because there were Jewish tenement houses. So we're in the market square. It's the feast of Corpus Christi, which is a big deal here with Catholics in general, but particularly here in Poland. So it is a public holiday. The procession is going to come from Wawel Castle Cathedral Basilica down to St. Mary's, so that's a bit dark. Yeah, so looking forward to it. Mass is ongoing here right now. So it's very flexible forum. Last night there was a rock concert here, and it looks like there's going to be a outdoor mass. As always, the women do the work. So this square is 13th century, including the basilica, all of the streets around it, and the town hall. The two towers are at different heights because one was for the watchmen to have a look out, and you could see across the entire city with the shorter tower there. So as the mass is going on, the procession from Wawel Castle is over there. So Krakow, Corpus Christi procession under guard. And we've got the sound coming from St. Mary's Basilica.
Jestem dla Chór hasło działające przy Kaźwicy Mariackiej w Krakowie pod dyrekcją pani przybliżyli się Bosi do
Church of St. Peter and Paul. This is another, I've seen a couple of these. Monument, there's one in the market square as well.
1635 of the date.
1635. St. Peter and Paul Church, and we have you can see these. And then it's got the braille and then the raised letters. It's great. We're inside the Church of St. Peter and Paul. There's organ practice going on. This is the Church of St. Andrew the Apostle, and was a Poor Clare's monastery built in 1079. So altogether we have the Church of St. Peter and Paul. This is a Jesuit, but I need to look up. And the 11th century Church of St. Andrew and Carmelite Monastery. All from this square. Wow. So this is Wawel Castle. Ordered to be built by King Casimir III, Casimir the Great, between the 13th and 14th centuries. It's quite a structure, and it's now a UNESCO World Heritage building. Casimir III, or the Great, was certainly the great town planner. An awful lot of buildings were built on his instruction. And he was quite smart. He encouraged Jewish people to come and live here. They were being persecuted elsewhere, pretty much everywhere in Europe. And for their protection, they would be protected in the city of Krakow. And for their protection, they had to pay a toll. But they also brought business to Krakow. And riches and financial gain. He was a smart cookie. And so Casimir III was very smart. Not only did Jewish people come to live in Krakow because they were protected, the Jewish paradise they called it, but at the time usury, or the practice of paying interest on monies lent or borrowed, was illegal in most of Europe, certainly under Catholicism. So it wasn't a problem for Jewish people. So Casimir put Jewish people in charge of financial institutions. And so it grew. So he made Krakow very rich. He made Poland very rich. Smart cookie. And that's actually why Krakow came to have the highest population of Jews in all of Europe, prior to the Second World War, of course. Full marks for stamina. 4 hours ago, we came past here and the service was going.
Hello.
So we're here at Auschwitz Museum. What are your thoughts before we go in?
I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not sure how I feel about the whole thing. So, waiting.
Yeah, certainly a feeling of,
It's a lot of emotion, I think.
yeah,
Wait and see.
trepidation. Yeah. Let's just hope that this museum educates and helps people to, I don't know, not let this happen again.
Yeah.
As a species, we're pretty
Dumb.
dumb, nasty. Anyway. Cheers, Rebecca.
Cheers, Rebecca. Here's to you. Hope you can hear the
Trumpeter.
There he is.
So we're sitting in the square, listening to the trumpeter, and the trumpeter has to be a fireman, apparently. Right, so we're wrapping up. Wrapping up. Well, no, because it's here in the video. Hi. So we're wrapping up 4 days in Krakow.
Well, we're really wrapping up all of Poland because we're done in Poland.
Yes, Poland's been terrific.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Krakow. I've loved it.
It's been great.
Yeah.
I like it so far the best out of where we're there.
Yeah. First afternoon, we thought, we'll have a little wander around town. Bumped into a guy called Dale, who was doing a, free walking tour. We went over to Kazimierz.
The Jewish quarter,
Jewish quarter.
anyway.
And his knowledge was fantastic. The quarter was amazing. The stories, he told us, it was terrific. Really, really. And that was a cracker of a start to the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We got soaked.
We did.
We were exhausted walking, and then did about 16,000 steps, as you do. And then Sam, in between, Patricia was all right, actually. I sat in between two umbrellas.
I picked the right spot to
So I was
start.
talking Niagara Falls, but it was lovely. And then yesterday was Corpus Christi feast day. So there were the processions, there were the 4-hour at least mass.
Oh no, more than 4 hours.
Yeah,
Just went forever.
we got to the square at 10, and then at 2, still going.
Still going.
Fair play, I tell you. 10 out of 10 for tenacity to the...
We didn't hang around. We went and found something to eat.
Yes.
Good little Catholics that we are.
This morning, early start, up at 5 to go to Auschwitz-Birkenau. That, needs to be done. Need to bear witness. Horse and carriage coming past as they do. The survivors wanted it kept as it was. The survivors wanted people to bear witness and to see what hatred can do. It's sad at the moment. We've still got Ukraine war, we've still got Gaza, it's still bloody
Still
war
got
happening.
Hamas.
Still happening.
Still got Israel and Palestine and
But it was truly, deeply horrendous.
really.
And the organisation, the depth and detail of the organisation, down to the categorisation of individuals with their own label on their striped prison clothes. Oh, jeez. It was...
But what I didn't know is that the Germans actually planned every inch of the annihilation of the Jews.
Yeah.
How do people do that to each other?
It was just...
It was very sad. I'm glad we've been. I'm glad we're not going there again.
Yeah. The girl who was our guide, she's lived in the area all her life, and she wanted people to know about it. We're back in the square. We've come to hear the trumpeter, which should be due again soon.
And we thought we better have a drink
Yeah. Yeah.
after today.
We're off to Vienna tomorrow. We're going to Vienna so that we can get the Dacia Express, the overnight train down to Bucharest. So that'll be fun. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see you the next
Yeah.
one.
Thank you, Krakow. Thank you, Poland.